everybody, my name is Fresca and welcome to my channel called Fresca. So today I'm going to be doing a Caribbean snack mukbang. I will be eating Tostones chips by Goya, where it has a touch of garlic and seasoned salt mixed in. And I will be drinking coconut milk with coconut nibs made by the Kuji brand. So that's what I'll be drinking today during my mukbang. Hey, beautiful magic. There is so much to talk about. So much to talk about in this mukbang, and that's pretty much what I'm going to talk about today. So, everybody knows about the incident that happened in Minneapolis today. Thank God. I don't want to be able to get my piece of potato chips. Ooh. Good and garlicky. Now, these are not really garlicky. They have a good amount of garlic on them, but you can still smell like the plantain flesh in it. But it has a really good scent. So I want to say this has not a medium strength. Yeah, I'll say a medium strength garlic taste, but it's not super salty. And it has a light finish. So you guys know whenever you eat those tostones, the actual kind, not the chip kind, it has that fleshy crunchiness to it. And then however you season it, it'll have like the salt or the adobo or whatever you put on it. But with these, they taste just like the actual tostones, except crispier because they're chips. But they're not super salty nor really garlicky either. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give these chips. I'll give them a 10, but I would like the garlic to be a little bit stronger. I know some people don't like garlic because it's strong and it gives you that bad breath smell, but I love garlic. I love strong scents or strong flavors in food like onions and cilantro and oregano. You know, like those really leafy green ingredients or herbs in food. I love them because I love the smell and I love the mix of them too when you're cooking like Italian food or Mexican food. I love it. Some people think it stinks and it's nasty, but I love the smell because whenever I smell it, I feel like I'm in a garden or an Italian restaurant. So it just gives me good memories and a good feeling. And it feels natural too. That's what I like about smelling green vegetables or or I don't want to say plant-based vegetables because this a vegetable, so does the plant. But that's what I like about like onions and like chives and cilantro and oregano and what's that, parsley. Those types of herbs. Because whenever I smell them, they just make me think of the garden and like a natural scent. So let's talk about this mess that's gonna happen in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Y'all, when it comes to this George Floyd case, it's really sad and I really don't like looking at it as much. Like I learned about this on Instagram, like a lot of us probably did before it spilled out over into the news. The whole case from beginning to end and even now, it's just sad. It's sad not it's sad not only because an innocent man died, but it's sad from an African American perspective that we're still seen and treated as slaves. Because African Americans, we have a long history in this country, and not just in this country, but in this world. We've had a very positive impact on music, on food, on culture, on architecture, or anything you can think of. Half of the things that people use in the United States on a daily basis, whether it's the pencil sharpener, the hair relaxer, the gas mask, shoes, the traffic lights outside, we made that. We invented. Everybody loves to think that China made everything. No, African Americans, we made a lot of everyday use items. Most of the school supplies, handheld appliances, and day-to-day tools and fixtures we use and see every single day were made and invented by Black people. Yes, were made and a lot of the things that we see every single day and use every day was made by Black people, and we still get little to no acknowledgement for it. And I don't want to talk about this too much because I'm almost on the brink of crying, but it makes no sense. It does not. It makes no sense that we've been here almost longer than any other group, and I don't want to hear anything about Native Americans and how this country used to be half of Mexico. We were even slaves in Mexico. If you want to go that deep, we were. Because the slave ships did not just stop here in the United States. They were south of the border as well, and all through Central and South America as well. We've contributed a lot to those cultures as well, and still even get little to no acknowledgement in those cultures. Exactly. Because when what we're seeing right now is modern day lynching of Black people. It's not just Black men, it's Black women too. What we're seeing right now is modern day lynching. Instead of them hanging us up on trees and burying us in empty plots and ditches and stuff like they did when the Klan used to pull us over on the side of the road, or when they would catch us doing something we shouldn't have been doing, but we was really minding our business and living life like everybody else, lynching us and throwing us in rivers and throwing us in ponds and ditches and kidnapping us and mutilating our bodies and all types of stuff. Like America, y'all have been asleep for a really long time when it comes to Black people. And I believe that whites and Asians and even Hispanics, y'all are starting to see how we're finally treated. A lot of people always want to group in people of color in this fight. One thing I will say, you do have other races that are of color that are helping us out and that are supporting us in our stand, that are defending us. But you also have a lot of people of color that aren't defending us and standing with us. Black people, and I'm not saying that we should be racist because I'm against that. And I'm not saying that we should hate people, but this is the time when we need to focus on us. We need to get back to our roots. We need to get back to our culture. We need to get back to putting our culture out there in the forefront, making sure we get laws passed to support us. We get laws passed to protect us. That our culture is implemented and embedded in American history and is respected. This cooning and samboing and tap dancing for non-Black people, it's got to stop because those types of Black people are contributing to this type of racism and nonsense that's going on against us. Like, it's got to stop. It's really going to take all of us. It's going to take all of us in order to stop this. Not just a piece of us, not just half, a quarter, or a third. It's going to take all of us. Because while we're sitting up here backing the Latinos and backing the Asians and backing the Native Americans for what they do, little do we know they don't need our support. They'll be good with it or without it. Their cultures are so intact and so well endowed and so well versed. Everybody's in such strong alignment. They will still be here running and ruling and having businesses, going to school, getting educated, building their own cultural empires, whether we are dead, about near extinct, or in full effect or not. And that's what Black people need to understand. As Black people, we are endangered. We are endangered. If black people do not wake up to what's going on with us and to us, we will be an endangered race. If we thought the Native Americans was wiped out as bad as they were with wars, diseases, and and even the white people came in and turned them against each other too, like they did with us. Black people are gonna be the next people where if you want to find out about black folks, you're gonna have to go to a museum or go to a history book or a library to find out or discover that there ever was black people. And black folks, we can't continue to sit and say, well, I'm not concerned. That ain't happened to me. That's not my problem. Yes, it is your problem. Because no matter how much money you have, no matter how much education you have, no matter how perched up in your suit, or how laid your hair is, or how on fleek your nails are, and lips and butt and eyelid, eyeshadows and eyebrows and all that type of stuff, you are still black. You are still black. It doesn't matter how many YouTube followers, Instagram followers, or all these people you got backing you because of your status and your looks. When that's all said and done, when you go to some of these places in America or even in the world, they're not going to know who you are. And that's another thing black people got to understand. This social media stuff, this is not everything that we're making it out to be. We was good before social media and we'll be good during it and after it. But it's time for us to get back into reality. Because if we keep thinking that us being successful and rich and having all this money and stuff is going to carry us, we got another thing coming. Because you've even had people like Jay-Z where he has gone to places like France and couldn't even believe that people didn't even know who he was. That he was a world famous rapper. So how do a lot of y'all black folks think when y'all be rolling up in these Maseratis and Bugattis and these $1,800 watches and $1 million houses gonna feel when y'all go to places like Germany or Russia or France or even some places in Africa where these people will strip you and search you and accuse you and will falsely think that you must be a prostitute or you must be a gang member or you must be a thief because they can't understand how a black person can actually be wealthy by probable means. And I think some of y'all might need that wake up call just to get into your head that you black. You black. Because there's a lot of in denial that's going on. Do they even let Russians into Russia, Americans into Russia? Yeah, they do let Americans into Russia. And see, China, that's the thing. Well, I was gonna go back to your last comment because we populated Earth long before they did. Yeah, because people forget that Africa, and I know you got Northern Africa, which is predominantly Arab, but even below in Sub-Saharan Africa, it's black folks. And then, because I believe if every black person identified as black, whether mixed or not, our numbers would probably surpass a lot of these other ethnic groups in America, even in the world. Because it's a lot of us than people think it is. But they do let Americans into Russia. I'm not so sure about now due, due to COVID-19 and, the political rifts with Putin and Trump. But they've even showed where in China and a lot of these countries, they have sizable numbers of Africans because in Africa, their culture, especially work wise and education wise, is a little bit different than ours here in the United States. Now, you do have a lot of African Americans that do study abroad, they do travel abroad for business purposes, just like Africans do. But I've only seen Africans do it at a larger extent than us. You have very sizable African populations and not African, Afro Caribbean populations in places like Europe and Asia. China, they actually have a section in China. I forgot what city it was in. I don't know if it was Guangzhou or if it's somewhere in Beijing, but they say it's so many black folks out there, they call it Chocolate City. And I mean, we're everywhere. But I will say in China, a lot of black people have experienced racism. They say even now in China, they're not letting Americans come into their businesses due to COVID-19, and it's really harsh on black Americans. And a lot of black people are not understanding that. And a lot of black people don't realize that when they see these things happening, it's not just for a viral moment. And it's not just for a moment or history making. This is stuff happening in real time. Right, right. They are. They are. And a lot of black people are just not seeing it. They're not seeing it because I think what we're going to have to do as a culture now, I do believe we need to get our butts to a lot of these city halls and a lot of these politicians' offices and even make it to the state capitol because we need some laws put in action. We do. Because if the LGBT community can get protection and the Latino community get protection from the government, we can too. Because when they used to try to stop us from voting, to stop us from going to the polls, and making it so it was hard for us to read, write, just so we could cast in the vote, we had to get the civil rights amendments put into place so that we could have rights to even be recognized as American citizens and to have a voice in politics. So if we could do it back then, we could do it now because we got to make some changes. And not only that, but we black people, we need to start embracing our culture. And we need to start putting our culture out there on the forefront and telling it from our own mouths. Because as a spiritual person, a lot of us are getting more in touch with African spirituality, like myself. And we're learning about our ancestors and where we come from. But I feel like as we're learning this for ourselves, it's time for us to teach it to other people. Now, one of the problems that I feel like we've done as a community, we've let too many people in. And we let them come in and take everything. They aren't talking about Breonna Taylor like that. Yeah, they're not. And the thing about Breonna Taylor, I didn't know nothing about that until Instagram. Because Instagram, if you have Instagram, especially if you're connected to a lot of black Instagrammers, I mean, not just black Instagrammers, but if you are one of those people that's into like the reality TV shows and hip hop music and stuff like that, if you circle those parameters in Instagram, a lot of this social stuff that's coming out on the news, you'll learn about it first on Instagram because that's how I learn about stuff. But yeah, Breonna Taylor, they're not. Because with Breonna Taylor, like I said, I ain't never heard her name on the news. And I've only heard on Instagram. And that's another issue within our community as well. There seems to be a higher concern for black men than black women. And Malcolm X said it best as the most disrespected woman in America is the black woman. And it is, to an extent. Because you still have female sexualization going on with black women. And a lot of us don't talk about it, but it's true. Because they still sexualize us. And they still make us sexual objects. And they still disrespect us. And they still don't treat us as if we're somebody's daughter or mother or teacher or guide or friend. But when it comes to the black man, they always see him as the breadwinner, as the money maker, the ship stacker. And they even sexualize the black man as well, but they add a little respect to it. But see, when it comes to us, it's not like that. Yeah, we do. As black women, we do need to be seen as a protected class. We do. Because we're people too. Because people forget, without black women, you wouldn't have black people. And that not only goes for our race, but that really goes even across the globe. Because women, now I'm about to skew away from black people for a minute. Even women outside of the black culture are disrespected and held to a little lower regard. But my thing is, men can't do and be everything. Because without women, you wouldn't have men. Because men may hold the sperm, but we got the egg that they need to create the baby in order to have men or boys. And that's what's not being understood. And that's what's not being understood. I'm doing a live. And that's what a lot of us are not understanding. That we as women, we are the creators of humanity. Yes, you need God, a higher power in the universe. But we're the carriers. Because if you don't have women, you're not going to have people. Point blank, period. Because you need our womb, or pretty much our pussy, just to have men and humanity. And that's what I feel like we need to start doing as a people. Yeah, the women have dropped the ball. A lot of women drop the ball, and the thing that hurts the black community the most is dysfunction. Racism is a part. I hate to say this too, because black people, we don't like to take accountability for a lot of stuff we do. But a lot of us play a part in some of this downfall of us too. Because with the children, sometimes are not properly raised, are not taught morals and values or self-respect and self-love. Because I've even noticed that even with some of my tarot readings that I've done mainly with black women, a lot of self-love and self-worth kept coming up. And I think I only had like maybe 2 other women in my readings where that didn't come up, but I noticed that came up a lot. And it's just hard for us. Because I can honestly say, as a black woman, it is hard. It's hard for us to hold our heads up high, because we have to hold our heads up high just to live life and to be what we supposed to be. But it's hard holding our heads up because we know that no matter how educated we are, how good we are and whatnot, people are still going to disrespect us and not love us. And that's almost another burden and realization we have to carry. So self-love and self-worth, it is hard for black women. And I wish that a lot of black mothers and grandmothers especially would start teaching our black daughters and granddaughters that stuff. Because I feel like even in the black home, it's not a lot of self-worth and self-realization going on there either. And that's contributing to some of this stuff too. Because we have to start loving ourselves. Even though other people don't and won't, we have to start loving ourselves and being what we need to be. Because the reason why people are killing us and hurting us so bad is because they know what we're worth. We are. Yeah, people do not realize that words can help or harm. A lot have grown up being told we are unworthy. Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of us grow up in dysfunctional families. And then, the father not being in the home, being a good example to the children. And then, depending on what neighborhoods and areas we grow up in, we have friends and schoolmates and classmates growing up in the same environments, and they're going out having sex, getting pregnant at early ages with little to no help or support, and it's a continuation of the cycle. Then, what's worse now, a lot of parents act like they can't parent kids anymore, or adults can't even adult children anymore. It's like everybody wants a child to be grown and automatically know how to do stuff and not be taught or not be trained or risen in anything. And that adds on to the problem too. So speaking of absent fathers, 50 Cent needs to stop. Yeah, 50 Cent is a troll, and I have no respect for him. Cause he got the nerve to sit up here and say Tekashi 6ix9ine is the king of New York. And be hugging on him and pumping him up. And his own son, he will cuss out and chew out and say he wish he was never born. And I'm like, that's another thing, like that cooning. Like I said, will cuss his own son out. But Tekashi 6ix9ine will treat him like a son. And that's another thing. Like I said, black folks sticking up for other folks. But need I remind you, Tekashi 6ix9ine put all them black men, guilty or not, in jail. And they ain't doing just 4 or 5 years. Some of them doing about 10, 15, and 19 years. Yeah, let that meditate for a minute. For I'm saying, a lot of stuff black people ain't saying. And they're not realizing it. But 50 Cent, he's disrespecting men and women. He has. He is disrespecting men and women. And we, as black people, also have to stop making excuses for wrongdoing. Because that's another issue with us, too. We love being in denial about a lot of stuff that we do. And we don't always like telling the truth and admitting that we're wrong and healing stuff. Because some of this stuff that we go through is other folks' faults. But a lot of us need to stop contributing to it, too, by the way we treat our families and our kids. And not raising them properly and not training them up and instead of always trying to be a crab in the barrel, tearing somebody down while they're trying to get up, actually help another black person. My thing is this: before I would allow my emotion to get a hold in regards to his son's mother, I would have went and got full custody. Who for 50 Cent? Get a hold in regards to his son's mother, I would have went and got full custody. Because that, and the thing is, this is a son that looks just like 50 Cent. Okay, now I'm about to open up my Kuji coconut milk with the coconut bits in it. There was another brand of coconut milk I used to get, and it was called Demi Pais. That one was really good, but I don't really see that one like I used to. So let's drink up. Now I want to say this is pretty good because it has a light milk taste. It's not heavy like a heavy cream type of milk. And you taste the coconut water in it as well. And it has like the jelly coconut bits in it too. So overall, it's good, but the aftertaste is more of a yeah, it's more of a dollar store candy like kind of taste. Ugh, I don't like that. Yeah, mm-mm. So I'm gonna give this a no. I think Demi Pais tastes a whole lot better than this. And I got this from Walmart on the Hispanic food aisle section, just like I got the Goya chips. Yeah, coconut milk is good, and it's good to drink coconut water because of the potassium that's in it. Because I used to get the organic coconut water from Walmart, and that's pretty good. But yeah, when it comes to everything that's going on in Minneapolis with George Floyd, it's crazy, and I feel like after this needs to be the last major event. Do you have a favorite agua fresca? Ah, yes, I love agua frescas. I made some too, and I even got a bag. I even got a bag over here because I went to Compare Foods, which is a Hispanic grocery store, and they had regular horchata and they had strawberry horchata and I got an apple one and I got a coconut one too. But I actually made some because the one that I made was pepino with chia. That one was like a new taste for me, but it was I'm like, okay, this tastes like a veggie drink to me. And then the other agua fresca that I made was the lemon and strawberry one. Because when I used to sell for my bakery at the flea market, that was like one of my best sellers. People who don't know what an agua fresca is, I tell them it's just, lemonade, like strawberry lemons with water and sugar. But I put like cranberry juice in mine. So people who know what an agua fresca is, I say agua fresca con limon y fresa. But to other people that don't know that, I just say it's strawberry lemonade. So yeah. But yes, I love agua frescas. I'm actually thinking about doing an agua fresca review on my channel because I have apple, horchata, coconut, and the strawberry horchata and what's another one I had? I gotta look through my bag, but yes, I have a lot. I love agua frescas. But what's some other agua frescas out there? Because the only ones I know of course, is horchata. Then they have a watermelon one. They have the strawberry lemon one. They have the tamarind one. I don't really like tamarind that much. I've noticed tamarind is a really popular flavor in Mexican candy, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of tamarind. Then what's some other flavors that they have? It's a lot. It's a lot, y'all. Good morning, forecast for life. I could see you right now. We was like on a video chat. You'd be like, but yes, my favorite agua fresca would be horchata. Then the second agua fresca would be the lemon and strawberry. That's what mine is. Oh yeah, and then today when I went to Walmart, they finally had the wrap snacks. So to those of you who don't know what the rap snacks are, about 3 years ago, they came out with rap snacks. They only had the rap Migos snacks and the Cardi B rap snacks. Cause I wish they would have had the Trina flavors. Cause I think Trina and Fetty Wap and Bootsy were like the first celebrities that had the rap snack flavors. And then after them, it was Amigos, because Amigos, they got about 4 or 5 flavors. And Cardi B got about 4 or 5 flavors. And then they made like rap Roman noodles too, where Master P and Bootsy got their own like Roman noodles flavor. Cause I know on the website, cause I know on the website you could get like a variety pack for like $23. Cause you can get, I think you can get. Since I was a kid, they sold them in the stores in the hood. Really? That's Master P's snacks. Now, see, I don't know who makes them. Master P, he supposed to be a millionaire. I don't know if he really is one, because he had so many businesses back in the day. But yeah, like with the rap snacks, I think there are about maybe 10 or 15 snack varieties. Because Cardi B has about 4 or 5. The Migos have about 4 or 5. Biggie Smalls has his own rap snacks. He has about 3 flavors. Fetty Wap has one. Trina has two. And Lil Bootsy, I think, has about 2 or 3 flavors. But yeah, Cardi B and Migos, I think they have like the most. Because Cardi B has like, this is cheddar barbecue. And I think she has like habanero barbecue and honey barbecue and some other flavors. And these are sour cream with a dab of ranch. And they got some other flavors too. Master P is an underrated businessman. Yeah, he is very money smart. He's very money smart because he had a plan, especially after. Let me get this right. He wasn't with the Hot Boys. No, it was him and C Murder and Silk the Shocker, because they was from Louisiana. Now the Hot Boys had Lil Wayne and Manny Fresh and I think Juvenile. Y'all don't beat me up if I get these rap combinations and stuff wrong. But yeah, I know about all Louisiana rappers at that time, because it was Juvenile, the Hot Boys with Lil Wayne, C Murder, yeah, No Limit, Silk the Shocker, Master P. It was another one, and he was acting in a movie. He was kind of cute too, cause I think he used to rap with the Hot Boys. I can't think of his name though. Okay, I'm gonna describe y'all the movie, and y'all tell me what it is. So the movie is where, and Snoop Dogg was in the movie. So the movie is where I think he's like a drug dealer or something. He's involved in some crime, and he has this girlfriend. And the girlfriend, she's tall, light skinned, has like long, like black hair and stuff. And they start talking and things like that. And then I remember they had like this little picnic, and her mom was kind of skeptical of her dating him and everything because of how he was. And she was telling his mom, like, oh, he's a rapper, his stuff is really good. And then he ended up getting mixed in with some people, and they came and killed the girlfriend. And the rest of the movie is about getting them back. And I remember she would always ask him, like, do you love me? Or like, are you still down? Because he found out she was pregnant when she died. And he stayed away from the family and everything, because he knew that they blamed him for everything that had happened because of her being connected to him. And I remember he visited her grave, and he was like, yeah, I still love you. And answered a question like, yeah, I still love you. Like, yeah, I'm still down and everything like that. And I forgot how the movie ended. But it was one of those movies, y'all know how like the main character would narrate the movie, like when the movie would first come on. And then in the end, kind of like Minister Society. And like in the end, as the movie is fading out, that's when they would like kind of close out the story. Y'all tell me in the comments if y'all could think of the name of the movie. I'm gonna see if I can look it up. Okay, Hot Boys. Lil Wayne, Juvenile, BG, and Turk. Um, Let me look up another rule. Somebody said No Limit. Okay, No Limit Records. Okay, now let's look up all the people. Let me look up Snoop Dogg since he was the one in the movie. I didn't know Snoop Dogg was on No Limit Records. Mm, Filmography. The Hot Boys. Let's see, was that the? Yep, that's the name of the movie called The Hot Boys. I think I said Hot Boys. Silk the Shocker. I'm saying all these names and I didn't even realize I said the person I was thinking of. Yep, that's him. Silk the Shocker. Yep, that was him. And that was the name of the movie. It was called The Hot Boys. That came out in 99 because BET, they used to play it. Because BET, they used to play that movie sometimes and I would watch it. I got to see if YouTube got it. Because that was a pretty good movie. And what was the girlfriend's name? Let's see. Is Mystical from New Orleans though? Oh, he is from New Orleans. I didn't know that. I thought he was maybe from California or something. Okay, but yeah, so yeah, that movie was pretty good. That was one of my favorite movies on there. And I thought about doing movie reviews too, like old movies and stuff that I like. Okay. So that's all for that I have for right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this live. Don't forget to like, leave a comment in the comment section, and have a good day.